For the last 2 days, I've been getting emails about this particular story out of Georgia. And according to the viral story, 2 men come to pick up their daughter from school, only to arrive at the same exact time to find out that both of them are claiming to be the father. So obviously, it turns into an aggressive situation. It was told by this particular YouTuber and TikToker, I believe, just TikToker, Sheena_2200. In fact, I'm gonna let her tell the story.
Hey y'all, so I came to tell y'all story time of what happened Friday at work. So y'all know I work at a school in the front office. So y'all, right before dismissal, we had a dad came in and wanted to check out his child. Okay, that's normal. Okay, so we was like, okay, hold on a second, because the secretary wasn't right up there. She'll be here in a minute. Then another dad walks in. He wants to check out his child as well. Okay, give us a minute. So she came back. She got his the child's name. Told her the child name. Okay, she pulled it up, print out the slip, went ahead and asked the other dad his child name so he can pull out the slip. So she can print out the slip to call that child up, at the same time, just call everybody up. Got the child's name, and it was the same child's name, right? She was like, we got 2 kids in the school? Well, okay, let me pull it up. So she was like, this is the same child he just checked out. And so they both look at each other, and dad was like, why are you checking my child out? Who are you? And he was like, who are you? What you mean? I'm her dad. And so me and the secretary looked at each other. I was like, I'll be back. Let me go get the principal right now. Because, at this point, we need the principal. We need somebody to call the school officer. What is really going on here? So the principal comes to the front, and she was like, what's going on? Well, I'm here to check out my daughter. I'm here to check out my daughter, too. I don't even know who he is. And he's saying he here to check out my daughter. And so the principal's like, okay, let me get mom on the phone to come up here to see what's going on. So, I gets the card for the principal to go ahead and call mom up, right? To see what's really going on.
Now, this particular story got many views on TikTok. Many people said it was viral, but in fact, this is a story that's phony. But here is what is real. I want to play the second part of her confession.
Okay, so now that we all know that this was a fictional story time, we can excuse the fact that I had at least 20 women or more in the comments of this viral video saying, this happened to me. I had 2 daddies that still to this day don't know about each other. Yeah, over 20. It's 20 or more women in my comments now. One person said their dad found out when she was 14, she told. One lady is 30 and she still says her dads don't know about each other. Somebody in the comments says their child now, they tell them to call the other dad. No, that's his name. No. So it doesn't make sense when the child is trying to explain what's to the other dad what's going on. This is crazy. So if it's gotten this bad, guys, I advise y'all to get a DNA test. Okay? Well, I don't want to say it gotten this bad because, like I said, it's women in the comments over 30, that says their dads still don't know to this day. It always been this way. I guess we just hearing more about it these days. But my story was made up. But to say I made my story up I watch a lot of Paternity Court. I love Judge Lauren Lake. So I watch a lot of Paternity Court. So some stuff from that, just watching that, and it's grown women that go on there still looking for their dads. Matter of fact, that's mostly all that's on there. Older women still looking for their dads, and they've been thinking 2 different men all this time.
So guys, although this story is not true, the sad part of this story is that she said that 20 people in the comments were saying the exact thing happened to them. That they have 2 different men believing that they're the father, that they don't know, that the men in their lives are calling dad don't know about each other. What do we call that? Child paternity fraud. Now, I was on TikTok and I was looking at child paternity fraud, and I was looking for a video that kind of spoke about it. And of course, I came across this video by Coach Greg Adams that explains it in better ways that I could explain it. Let's play that clip.
And the biggest abuses of child support in itself is not a crime in the United States. A woman can put any man on the birth certificate, can claim he's the father, can allow this man to raise the child for several years, and then if it is revealed that the person is not the father, nothing happens to her. And a matter of fact, any of the money that he invested in that child, time, energy, money, attention, it just goes to waste. And they just say, oh, you know what? Man up, guy, deal with it. That's just the way it is. Well, we're talking about equality here. The system itself demonstrates that there's no equality here. You can't tell me in the technology that we have today, you can't tell me in the country that we have today, that a DNA test, simple DNA test swab, cannot be performed on all newborn kids. And the funny thing is, you know who's balking at having this particular type of thing done? Women. They don't want it done. They're like, no, this is not fair. These men should just step up. They should just sign the birth certificate, and they should just take care of their duty.
So guys, although the lady was wrong, I really want to deal with what Coach Greg Adams was talking about. That a woman actually can do this in the United States, get away with it, make the mistake. You can invest all that money into the child and nothing happens. They tell you to man up. And if you don't think that this has happened to many men across these United States, especially in the black community, I mean, God, you got to be joking. I mean, there's even guys suffering from child support in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, all over the black world, Britain. For what? For kids that are not theirs. That's the issue. Children that don't belong to them. And if you think that two men have never come to a situation where they both believe that they're the father and they're getting ready to come to fisticuffs, I think that you're fooling yourself. The reality is that so many men, and I'm going to say this, maybe this may cancel me, but let me get my Kanye on, right? So many men are dead or in jail, fighting each other, simply something that somebody else told them, mainly a lady, that, oh, I'm the real husband. Oh, I love you. You don't even know that she has somebody else. So many guys are in prison behind something like this. I'm the father. No, I'm the father. And the reality is you have men that don't know each other, that have no real quarrels with each other, but because they've been lied to by an outside force, the person who gets away with it is the perpetrator. And then you want to know why men don't want to have babies, why men are don't, when you look at these people talk about the toxic red pill community, the toxic manosphere. When we talk about the things that are happening from the other side, people leave these things out. Paternity fraud is huge in America. Okay. Want to know why men are upset? Why men of all races are shying away from marriage? Because literally you can be the right guy doing the right thing, and something like this happens, and then guess what? Nothing happens to the lady at all. She gets away with it all. And then you wonder why marriages are declining, why guys are against the institution. And let me just tell you this, because a lot of times when we talk about the red pill communities and the toxic manosphere, a lot of that anger can be taken out on individual experiences of women. But I'm going to say something that needs to be said. Governmental policies have made men hostile towards long-term relationships with the state regarding relationships with women. And that's something that I don't necessarily blame women for, because they're going to take advantage of it if they can. But I blame state governments and federal governments for what's going on. If you're going to be fair, if you're going to enforce correct laws, let it be more favorable towards the truth. I'm not even asking to be more favorable towards men. I'm asking to be more favorable towards the truth, because the state has turned so many men away from possible relationships with women, with wanting to be dealing with families. The state's done that, especially states like California. All right. Like, let's be real. California is literally broken men based off of its governmental policies. And when you look at the fact that you can do whatever you want to men and nothing happens, but if you're a guy and you happen to be on child support, you get broken, and oops, by the way, the kid isn't yours. That's the fundamental issue here. That's why the rise of the red pill rage, the manosphere has come about. Of course, guys are going to be upset, not necessarily with women individually, but the powers that be that have established what is the talk or the status quo of the day. Now, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.